12 o'clock and you are welcome to P&B Politics and Business TV. You're watching news and analysis live on Politics and Business Television. The top stories. Muslim group calls in Sokoto government to refrain from crippling the Sultan of Sokoto. FG IOX agrees on crude oil to Dangote and other local refinery. Agree to supply crude oil to Dangote and other local refineries. Minimum wage, Tinubu labor talks adjourned till next week. Details coming up shortly. Now in the news. The coalition of Muslim organizations in Nigeria has called on the Sokoto state government to refrain from any act of trying to cripple the power of the Sultan of Sokoto. This was made known by Malam Abdurrahman Balogun, the nation president of Muslim Media Practitioners of Nigeria, which was held at the National Christian Center, Abuja. Our correspondent Ruwan Musa Gawu was there and he reports.
Malam Abdurrahman Balogun, who said that he was speaking on behalf of the 33 Muslim groups and associations in Nigeria, noted that the Sultan of Sokoto is not only the Sultan of Sokoto, but the Amir al-Muslimin of over 150 million Muslims in Nigeria and across West Africa.
Our demands. What we as Muslim Ummah expect from the Sokoto state government and Governor Ahmad Aliyu is to further strengthen and reinforce the power and influence of His Eminence Sultan Muhammad Saad Abubakar CFR and the Sultanate. Governor Ahmad Aliyu should build on the legacies of past administrations in empowering Sultan Muhammad Saad Abubakar Eminent and make him a true Seriki of the Muslim Ummah in Nigeria. He should be protected from the control of politics, power, and government. The Sultan of Sokoto be granted immunity from dethronement and his influence expanded. By so doing, history will be lenient with His Excellency, Governor Ahmed Aliyu, and his name will be written in gold. We call on the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, His Excellency, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, to prevail on Governor Ahmed Aliyu and his government to halt whatever plans they have, as long as it will lead to diminishing the power and influence of His Eminence Sultan Muhammad Saad Abubakar CFR, or worse still lead to his dethronement. We appeal to the conscience of our political leaders across Nigeria and the wisdom of our elders, both religious and traditional, to intervene and restore peace and stability to our community. We implore them to recognize the Sultan's invaluable contributions to our nation's development, his unwavering commitment to our people, to our people's well-being, and the importance of his leadership and contributions in the international scene. Let us come together in the spirit of unity and brotherhood to resolve our differences peacefully and respectfully. Let us uphold the principle of justice, fairness, and respect for tradition that have guided us for generations. Our resolve: we will not stand idly by while our beloved Sultan and the throne he occupies, which is more than 200 years old, are unfairly targeted. We will continue to speak out against this injustice until the attempt to depose him or reduce his power are reversed.
The coalition has appealed to the state governor of Sokoto State, Alhaji Ahmad Aliyu, the Sokoto State Assembly, Muslim elder statesmen of the state, and the people of Sokoto State to uphold the long preserved principles, fairness, respect, and the throne of the Sultan of Sokoto. From National Church Center in Abu Ridwan Musago for PNB TV News.
Meanwhile, the federal government and crude oil producers in Nigeria have committed to working towards sustainable supply of crude oil to local refineries under a market-determined pricing system. Both parties said the aim of the commitment was to ensure that while the operators do business optimally, the refineries are not starved of feedstock. Accordingly, the industry regulator, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, has directed all refineries in the country to provide monthly price quotes on crude oil. This came as the 20 billion naira Dangote Petroleum Refinery is reportedly ramping up the importation of crude oil from the United States. And now let's talk on the Thursday's talks between Presidents Bola Tinubu and the organized labor on minimum wage that was adjourned until next week to allow for wider consultation with all stakeholders. The leadership of the organized labor to the president as the organized private sector and the government team offered to pay 62,000 naira, while the organized labor demanded 250,000 naira. Following the disagreement over the figure, the president had delayed sending any figure to the National Assembly through the executive bill to consult with all the relevant stakeholders in order to resolve all the contentious issues. Ajero, who addressed state on the current economic realities in the country. You're watching news analysis live on Politics and Business TV. Still to come, Lagos Marwa operator. Welcome back. A yet-to-be-identified tricyclist has died by suicide after efforts to reportedly retrieve his sixth tricycle from some government agents proved abortive in the Ikorodu area of Lagos State. According to reports, the tricyclist was heading to a destination in the state when the officials intercepted him for an offense. Following the interception, the officers reportedly seized the tricycle and took it to their office located close to the Jubilee Estate along the Ikorodu-Shagamu Expressway. Efforts by the tricycle operator to retrieve his bicycle from the officials were said to have been futile. According to reports, the tricyclist, in an apparent effort to protect the seizure of his tricycle, went to a tree at the front of the fence of the compound where the offices of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, and vehicle inspection officers are situated, close to the Jubilee Estate along the Ikorodu-Shagamu Expressway, and hanged himself. An eyewitness in a video posted on WhatsApp described the case as unfortunate, stating that the man killed himself on Thursday morning. And still you are watching news analysis live on Politics and Business TV. We will be going on a short break, and when we're back, we shall be joined by our guests via a phone call in the person of Dr. Yushau Aliyu, an economist, who will be discussing our topic for today, the bread palava. Stay tuned. Now let's talk about the state of the Nigerian's economy today, the bread palava. The prices of bread, one of the Nigerian staple food items popular among both children and adults, have gone up beyond the pockets of the common man in Nigeria. A loaf of bread earlier sold for 250 now goes for 300, while those formerly sold for 400 are now being sold between 500 and 600 naira. There are currently dramatic price increases in the cost of inputs for baking bread. In fact, prices of essential raw materials such as wheat flour, butter, sugar, and even packaging materials have more than doubled in the last 12 months. Consequently, bread prices have risen by 40 to 80% over the period. Available data has shown that Nigeria imported 99% of its wheat requirement in the first quarter of 2022, and with the attendant foreign exchange demand pressure, this has been fingered as one of the major factors responsible for the ongoing bread crisis in Nigeria. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development estimated Nigeria's national wheat requirement at 5 billion metric tons, and the National Bureau of Statistics reported that the country produced only 36,943 metric tons of wheat in 2021, representing less than 1% of the country's total annual demand. The prices of the commodity have also been increased by between 20 to 40%. Many shop owners and consumers have vehemently lamented the obnoxious developments, appealing for urgent action to redress the ugly trend. One of the bakers who craves anonymity told Nan in Kaduna, "It is not that we are on strike, but we have had to stop production since 1st July 2024. This unfortunate development was necessitated by the scarcity of wheat flour and its high costs, as well as sugar, oil, and other additives. For instance, in June, a 50 kg bag of flour was sold between 53,000 naira to 55,000 naira. And now the prices has regrettably skyrocketed to between 67,000 to 70,000 naira. Now, what is the fate of the nation amidst all this? We shall be going on a short break, and when we're back, we'll be joined by our guests via a phone call. My dear.